A strategy for winning the election has emerged from the Republican National Convention, and it has nothing to do with the man who was officially named the party's nominee last night. It's all about not electing Hillary Clinton, or worse. Last night, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie whipped the party faithful into a frenzy as he listed a litany of offenses he says the former First Lady has committed.
As to Hillary Clinton lying to the American people about her selfish, awful judgment in making our secrets vulnerable, what's your verdict? Guilty or not guilty? Now, time after time after time, the facts, and just the facts, lead you to the same verdict, both around the world and here at home. In Libya and Nigeria, guilty.
Okay, it's one thing to go after your opponent's credentials and positions, but invoking the devil? Adam Riley is in Cleveland at the RNC.
On Tuesday night, former Republican presidential candidate Ben Carson took the stage at the RNC and seemed to suggest that Hillary Clinton is a Satanist.
Are we willing to elect someone as president who has as their role model somebody who acknowledges Lucifer? Think about that.
Carson's comments raised plenty of eyebrows, but here in Cleveland, his views are almost par for the course. We're doing a story about how delegates here feel about Hillary Clinton. My premise. Now, no one we spoke with on the convention floor actually said that Clinton serves the Prince of Darkness, but they came pretty close.
Crooked Hillary, she lies.
The whole Clinton conspiracy is very real. They rule with an iron fist. If anyone gets in their way, they destroy them.
As you might expect, Benghazi is one big reason for this animus. Although she's been cleared by a congressional inquiry, delegates here aren't satisfied. They act like Clinton held the door open as terrorists stormed the compound.
She let 4 guys get killed. There's so many things, but that's the worst.
Then there's that private email server that Clinton used as Secretary of State. Even though she won't be criminally charged, people here still smell a conspiracy. Do you agree with the speakers last night who said she should be in prison?
Yes, absolutely.
And if you've heard all that before, there are other complaints that might be harder to shrug off.
I'm a Muslim American. I'm concerned with what happens in the Middle East. Look, all the way from northern Africa clear to Afghanistan is on fire. Extremism, torture, rape, suicide bombers. Hillary is the chief architect for President Obama's foreign policy.
Add it all up, and Republicans are about as terrified of what Hillary Clinton would do to the country as Democrats are of Donald Trump. What would America look like in 2020?
Our Constitution would be gone.
We're going to lose the Christian Judeo fabric of our society, the right to bear arms, the right to free speech.
I have 3 daughters. It'll be very difficult for me to use her as a role model.
In Cleveland, linking Clinton to Satan or vowing to put her in an orange jumpsuit is a surefire way to whip the crowd into a frenzy. But whether the general public will see this wrath as righteous or maybe a bit unhinged remains to be seen.
Adam Riley joins me now. Hey there, Adam.
Hey, Jim.
So, conventions are partisan affairs. I actually love that. But that lock her up chant last night was rather jarring. So I want to get your sense. Are the delegates as a whole more motivated by, let's call it, the villainy of Clinton or the virtues of Trump?
I got to ask you, were you more jarred by the lock her up chant or by the she might be a Satanist claim? I think they were sort of equal for me. Yeah. I think, if I had to give an assessment, I'd say, and I'm not basing this on polling, it feels like it's about half and half. There's no question that the animus toward Hillary Clinton at this convention is, I think, as strong as you'll have seen in any convention in recent memory. I can't think of one that I've been to where the candidate on the other side had people quite as incensed and outraged and terrified about what the future would hold if they were elected. But that being said, it'd be giving Donald Trump short shrift to suggest that he hasn't tapped into a lot of other fears and insecurities in his own right. He's also a perfect person to kind of crystallize the case against Hillary Clinton. Think of that nickname that he gave her, Crooked Hillary. That's one of his political skills, right, is distilling people to a catchphrase. That embodies, in one phrase, everything that all these people at the convention feel about her. It is interesting. I don't know if there's any awareness of positive things he's said about the Clintons over the years. the photos he's taken where he and Melania are standing beaming next to Hillary and Bill. If the delegates here have seen those or heard about those things, and I feel like they must have, they don't seem to care at all.
So tonight, the featured speaker is the vice presidential nominee. Now, the job description for those people is attack dog. Yet Mike Pence is a guy who has overtly said, I hate negative campaigning. The other day on Saturday, he said, I'm a Christian, a conservative, and a Republican in that order. So is he going to deliver the usual goods, or are we going to hear a totally different phenomenon tonight?
I have no doubt he'll deliver the usual goods. There are a lot of people who would probably identify themselves the same way as Mike Pence on the floor of the convention, Christian, conservative, then Republican. And that doesn't stop them from hating Hillary Clinton with the fierceness of 10,000 suns. He and his, I think, first speech that he gave after being announced as Trump's running mate gave what a lot of people thought was a very effective evisceration of Hillary Clinton. So I think he will deliver the goods. I would just add, and I've said this to you about 10 times, you're probably getting really annoyed with me saying it again and again, but the job description for Donald Trump's VP seems to be different. The New York Times has reported, and the Trump campaign is contesting this, that when they were talking with John Kasich about possibly becoming Trump's running mate, he was told he'd have control of domestic and foreign policy. So again, anyone watching Mike Pence from here on out should be bearing that in mind.
So he was against negative campaigning before he's for it. Adam, thanks so much. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
That's my prediction. Thanks, Jim.
On Boston Public Radio and here again on Greater Boston at Night.